Chosen one, I need you to stop scrolling right now and listen carefully. Do not move past this message, because this is an urgent intervention from the divine realm. Every single person who mocked your pain is about to face a terrifying reality today. The universe has finally gathered all the evidence against them, and their fate is completely sealed. You have waited in the dark for so long, while they paraded in the light. You swallowed your anger and let them walk away with pieces of your soul. They thought your silence meant they had won the invisible war. But they made a catastrophic mistake, because they completely forgot who you belong to, and the cosmic scales are tipping back in your favor right now. There is a massive storm forming over the lives of those who betrayed you. It is not a storm of rain, but a tempest of absolute divine justice. They are currently celebrating their stolen victories, while heaven writes their final sentence. You must pay attention to this warning, because if you leave now, you will miss the exact moment their fragile tower falls to the ground. The people who lied about your name are going to choke on their own words. You watched them build their empires on top of your broken and bleeding heart. And every night you asked the universe why the wicked seem to prosper, while the pure suffer in absolute silence. Heaven heard every single one of those desperate prayers. The waiting period is officially over for you today. Something monumental shifted in the spiritual atmosphere just 3 hours ago. The guardian angels assigned to your timeline have finally drawn their flaming swords. They have received the ultimate command to step in and handle your enemies permanently. Your abusers have pushed the boundary of divine patience for the absolute last time, and there is no more mercy left for their wicked souls. I need you to take a slow and deep breath right now. Feel that subtle shift of energy moving through your heavy chest. That is your spirit, recognizing the absolute truth of these powerful words. The universe is about to perform a radical extraction of their power, and everything they stole from you is going to turn into ashes. They will soon realize that you were never the weak one in the room. You were the only thing holding their fragile reality together all this time. And now that the divine forces have removed your protective energy from their lives, they are completely exposed to the elements. Their downfall will not be loud or explosive. It will be a slow and terrifying unraveling of everything they love. But you must stay here and listen to the very end of this message. There is a hidden reason why their judgment was delayed for so incredibly long. The universe had to wait until their pride reached its absolute peak before striking them down. If you scroll away from this frequency, you will never know how to handle the sudden transfer of wealth and power that is coming. They are going to come crawling back when their fake foundation finally shatters. You will receive a frantic message from the very people who threw you away. And when that happens, you need to possess the exact spiritual blueprint to remain untouchable. Your enemies will desperately beg for the salvation that they deliberately denied you when you were at your lowest point. This is the most critical turning point of your entire earthly journey. The narcissists who drained your beautiful life force are rapidly running out of time. They are already feeling a strange and heavy anxiety settling over their dark minds. They cannot sleep at night because their guilty souls already know that the ultimate spiritual debt collector is loudly knocking on their front door. You never plotted revenge because your heart is far too pure for that darkness. You simply walked away and left them to their own highly toxic devices. But divine justice does not require your active participation to destroy a miserable demon. It only requires your quiet faith, while heaven orchestrates the perfect collapse. So watch closely as the tables violently turn. The grand doors they slammed in your face are about to be ripped apart, and the people who locked those doors will be forced to stand outside forever. You will watch them lose the very things they betrayed you to easily get. The universe is currently stripping them of all their false earthly authority, while gently handing the glorious and permanent crown back to your rightful head. Do not let the enemy trick you into scrolling away from this holy revelation. They want you to remain blind to the glorious vindication that is unfolding today. If you stay to the final minute, you will unlock the hidden mechanism behind their painful punishment. You will finally understand why you had to endure such brutal isolation while they seemingly enjoyed the absolute time of their pathetic lives. There is a deep secret about your spiritual bloodline that terrified your ignorant abusers. They sensed your immense light, and they tried to snuff it out completely. But their cruel and calculated actions only accelerated your inevitable divine and powerful evolution. You became the lethal weapon that they were desperately trying to survive, and now they must face the fully activated version of you. You are feeling completely exhausted from this endless spiritual battle. The bone-deep tiredness you feel is not physical. You have carried a massive emotional weight for years without complaining, and every single morning you force yourself to get out of bed while your deeply wounded soul feels like it is quietly bleeding out. You put on a brave face for the rest of the world to easily see, but deep inside you are barely surviving the silent storm. You played by all the rules and did everything exactly right. You offered them your purest and most unconditional love. You gave them second chances when they truly deserved nothing at all. And what did you get in return for your bottomless kindness? You received a sharp and unexpected dagger in your back from the exact people you were desperately trying to heal. It feels incredibly unfair and profoundly wrong on every level. You watch them simply walk away without a single visible scratch. They sleep peacefully at night while you stare at the dark ceiling at 3 a.m. You see them smiling and thriving in the very spaces they violently pushed you out of. It makes you sick to your stomach because the universe seems to be actively rewarding their highly toxic behavior while entirely ignoring your pain. You often wonder if the divine realm has completely forgotten about your lonely existence. You deliberately chose the high road to protect your own peace. You refused to drag their fake name through the public mud. You swallowed the bitter truth and allowed them to control the false narrative. And while you sat alone in your dark room, they were busy painting themselves as the innocent victim. Your incredible restraint took every ounce of strength you had left in your tired body. The profound isolation you feel right now is absolutely crushing. Your heavy chest constantly feels tight with unexpressed grief. There is a deep knot in your stomach that simply refuses to go away. You flinch when your phone rings because your nervous system is forever trapped in basic survival mode. The narcissists drained your beautiful life force until there was almost nothing left, and they simply moved on to their next innocent target without looking back at the destruction they caused. You cry out for immediate divine justice in the middle of the night. You pray for the karma that everyone talks about to finally strike them down. But days turn into months, and absolutely nothing bad ever happens to their lives. They continue to build their little earthly empires using the exact pure energy they violently stole from your spirit. It feels like a twisted joke played at your ultimate expense. You are slowly losing your precious faith. I need you to know that your burning anger is completely justified. You are not crazy for feeling this intense and heavy resentment. The spiritual community often tells you to just forgive and forget, so you can quickly raise your personal vibration. But you cannot simply bypass the deep trauma they deliberately caused. These toxic people never even bothered to offer you a fake apology. The pain demands to be fully felt and processed right now. They look so incredibly happy and peaceful on the outside. They post their perfect fake lives for everyone to admire and loudly validate. You see their apparent success, and you question your own self-worth every single day. If you are the chosen one, then why are you the one constantly suffering in the dark shadows? It genuinely looks like the darkness has permanently defeated the light. This cruel physical reality feels incredibly backward to your pure soul. You are a rare empath with a profoundly deep and giving heart. You absorb the heavy pain of others like a spiritual sponge. And those toxic individuals knew exactly how to weaponize your pure empathy against you for their own selfish gain. They played on your deep guilt and made you feel entirely responsible for their totally miserable emotions. You sacrificed absolutely everything to keep them warm. You gave them the very best parts of your glowing spirit. When you finally set a basic boundary, they viciously attacked you. They called you selfish for refusing to be their emotional punching bag anymore. You had to endure a cruel smear campaign that quickly destroyed your good reputation. This dark attack completely isolated you from your former mutual friends. You lost almost everything just to protect your remaining sanity, while they walked away unscathed. And the grief of that unfair loss is incredibly heavy to carry. You survived the brutal storm entirely alone in the pitch-black dark. Nobody came to rescue your pure soul when the freezing water finally reached your neck. You had to become your own savior, while the people you loved stood on the safe shore and simply watched you drown. That profound emotional betrayal permanently changes the fundamental structure of a human soul. You now view the entire world through a necessary lens of deep caution and heavy suspicion. You are incredibly tired of always having to be the strong one. You just want a single moment of peace where you do not have to fight for your basic survival. I see your hidden tears, and I hear your silent screams echoing in the spiritual realm. Please know that your immense suffering has not gone unnoticed by the divine forces. The universe is carefully documenting every single offense committed against your pure heart. Tap the like button right now as a physical act of agreement with what God just validated in your spirit. You look back at how you handled the abuse, and you feel a deep sense of shame. You think your silence was a massive sign of embarrassing weakness. You believe you should have fought back much harder when they crossed the line. But I need to completely shatter that dangerous illusion right now. Your lack of physical retaliation was never an act of cowardice, because the universe was actively holding you back for a greater purpose. The universe deliberately sealed your lips during those heated and painful moments. Heaven stepped in and physically held your hands back from destroying them. You are a chosen one, with immense spiritual power flowing through your veins, and your words carry the absolute weight of cosmic law. If you had unleashed your raw anger, you would have obliterated their entire existence. The divine realm had to protect your soul. Your destiny is far too bright to be stained by the dark blood of your enemies. The spiritual realm required you to keep your hands absolutely spotless for the next phase. You were never meant to roll around in the toxic mud with low vibrational demons, because your royal frequency demands total separation from their chaotic mess. That is exactly why you felt strangely paralyzed when you desperately wanted to scream. You are the empath with boundaries, and your quiet retreat was your ultimate victory. You did not lose the battle just because you refused to violently strike back. Leaving the toxic table without saying a single word is the highest form of true spiritual authority. You literally starved their parasitic demons by entirely denying them your precious emotional reaction, and that silence became your sharpest weapon. They wanted you to explode, but you completely denied them the very reaction they were aggressively hunting for. You took away their favorite toy when you packed up your energy and bravely walked away. They desperately needed your loud anger to validate their own miserable existence, because they cannot generate any poetic light of their own. Your peaceful silence was incredibly deafening to their highly distorted reality. It forced them to sit entirely alone. Do not ever apologize for being the one who bravely chose the path of peace. You took the heavy hits, and you quietly absorbed the brutal shock of their betrayal. But the universe was closely monitoring every single step of your difficult retreat, and the divine forces were carefully measuring the exact amount of restraint you displayed. You passed the hardest spiritual test that any living human soul could possibly face. It might look like they got away with murder while you suffered in the quiet dark. You watch them celebrate while you are still picking up the broken pieces of your life. But you are completely misreading the brilliant divine strategy that is currently playing out behind the scenes. The universe gave them enough rope to hang their own toxic reputations. Your sudden physical absence is actually the catalyst for their destruction, and heaven is using your clean break to finalize their ultimate downfall. When you finally stopped feeding them your pure light, their clock instantly ran out. They are currently operating on borrowed time and rapidly depleting energetic reserves. They never had any real power or true substance of their own to begin with, because everything they built was entirely funded by your glorious stolen light. You were the only battery keeping their fake matrix fully operational. Heaven commanded you to cut the cord. You have to truly understand that fighting them would have severely lowered your sacred frequency. You cannot step into your royal timeline if you are still obsessed with petty physical revenge. The highest cosmic order explicitly commanded you to stand down and let the universe violently fight this battle for you. You were safely benched for your own supreme protection while the divine heavy artillery was brought in. Every tear you swallowed in silence was collected by the angels assigned to your specific case. They carefully placed your silent suffering on the divine altar to finally activate the ultimate judgment against them. Your beautiful restraint is the exact energetic currency that purchased your upcoming glorious victory. You are not a weak victim who foolishly let cruel people walk all over your bleeding heart. You are a spiritual warrior, and your remarkable patience is the ultimate proof of your true divine ranking. Stop looking back at your painful past through the distorted lens of human regret. Erase the toxic thought that you somehow failed to defend your own precious earthly honor. Your honor is violently guarded by the most powerful archangels in the entire cosmic realm, and they stand right behind you with massive flaming swords drawn while you quietly rest. The silence of a chosen one is far more dangerous than the loudest roar. You are walking into the next beautiful chapter with a perfectly clean karmic slate. Your abusers are carrying a massive mountain of spiritual debt that is rapidly coming due today. They have to answer to a supreme cosmic judge who absolutely cannot be manipulated or easily charmed by their fake smiles. So, you must immediately release the heavy emotional shame of not fighting back. You brilliantly outsmarted the darkness simply by refusing to play. Look closely at the perfect illusion they actively project to the whole world. They proudly post their smiling faces and their fake victories for everyone to loudly applaud. It genuinely seems like they have won the ultimate earthly prize. But there is a massive and terrifying secret hiding behind their polished physical masks, and it is quietly eating them alive from the inside out. Why are they suddenly experiencing severe panic attacks while sitting at the very peak of their success? The brutal truth is that they are entirely empty vessels roaming the earth. These toxic narcissists have absolutely zero organic light inside their deeply fractured souls. They function strictly as spiritual parasites who must constantly feed on high vibrational energy just to survive another day. And for the longest time, you were their absolute favorite and most reliable energetic battery because your pure heart never knew how to say no. You kept their miserable reality afloat with your kindness. But the exact moment you packed up your pure energy and walked away, everything changed. You became the empath with boundaries, and you permanently cut their vital supply cord. They arrogantly thought they could easily replace you with another naive and bleeding heart. But they quickly realized that nobody else carries your ultra-rare and powerful cosmic frequency, and the universe is not producing any more pure souls like you. They are currently starving to spiritual death in the pitch-black dark. Behind their closed doors, their entire fake kingdom is violently shaking right now. Their shallow relationships are rapidly crumbling because there is no pure love left to sustain the heavy lies. The people around them are finally starting to notice the creeping darkness leaking from their dead eyes. They cannot peacefully sleep at night because the deafening silence of their own empty souls is driving them completely insane. They have absolutely nothing real left to hold on to. They frantically check their phones, hoping to find a single drop of external validation. They secretly stalk your digital life, expecting to see you permanently broken and begging for their toxic return. But instead they see you glowing with an untouchable divine radiance. That glorious sight sends a cold and terrifying shiver straight down their crooked spines, because they finally realize the massive magnitude of their mistake. They suddenly realize they threw away the absolute most powerful shield they ever possessed. You were literally the only thing standing between them and their own heavy karma. The universe graciously spared them for years, simply because they were standing close to your radiant light. Heaven did not want to accidentally strike you while punishing their highly wicked behavior, but now that you have safely evacuated the premises, their spiritual cover is completely blown, and the divine forces no longer have to hold back their massive wrath. The dark clouds of divine judgment have a clear and open target. Their sudden and intense paranoia is absolutely not a random psychological issue. It is their fractured spirit accurately sensing the massive energetic withdrawal from the heavenly bank. They routinely wake up at 3 a.m., dripping in cold sweat for a very specific cosmic reason. The angelic forces have officially marked their fake territory for immediate and total demolition, and their subconscious minds already know that the end is near. They physically feel the heavy footsteps of cosmic justice rapidly approaching. They desperately try to fake their happiness, but the heavy exhaustion is clearly showing on their aging faces. Their forced laughter sounds incredibly hollow, and their artificial charm no longer works on anyone. They are deeply terrified, because their usual dark, manipulative tricks are completely failing them today. The universe has actively stripped them of their dark influence and left them entirely exposed to the harsh elements of objective reality without any spiritual shelter. They are completely naked in the spiritual realm. They walk into crowded rooms and immediately feel the heavy judgment of the spiritual realm. People are suddenly pulling away from their toxic aura without even knowing exactly why. The universe is intentionally isolating them so they can face their severe punishment entirely alone. They are rapidly losing their loyal supporters, and their fake friends are abandoning the sinking ship because the demonic spell has finally been broken. The divine isolation protocol has been fully activated against them. This is the exact reason why they look so incredibly desperate and lost lately. They know deep inside that a massive spiritual deed has just been violently ripped from their dirty hands. The cosmic ownership of your stolen blessings is being legally transferred back to your rightful name right now. They are helplessly watching their stolen wealth and unearned status slowly evaporate into thin air while your star continues to rapidly rise. And there is absolutely nothing they can do to stop the bleeding. They are permanently trapped in a terrifying nightmare of their own meticulous making. Every single lie they ever told about you is suddenly coming back to violently choke them in public. You do not need to lift a single physical finger to expose their true demonic nature to the world. The divine light is shining directly on their hidden sins, while your radiant energy remains perfectly safe, and the ultimate payback is unfolding right before their terrified eyes. Your ultimate victory is secured. Type 777 down in the comments to claim this alignment and declare your energy untouchable. You hear people casually talk about karma all the time. They foolishly believe it simply means running into temporary bad luck after doing terrible things, but the divine mechanism governing your situation is far more complex than a simple punishment. Karma for your enemies is a literal spiritual audit. The universe is executing a massive repossession of their life. You need to understand how they achieved their current success. Every single good thing they currently possess was never truly theirs to keep. It was entirely funded by the pure, radiant light they violently extracted from your beautiful soul. They borrowed your precious spiritual currency without ever having the slightest intention of paying you back, and they arrogantly built their grand physical house on your stolen spiritual land. But the divine realm absolutely does not allow energetic theft to last forever. There is a strict and unbreakable universal law of cosmic equilibrium that governs this world. The time limit on their unearned blessings has officially expired today. The supreme debt collector of the universe has finally arrived at their front door, and he demands immediate payment in full for all their dark and twisted crimes. This answers the massive question you have been asking yourself lately. Why are they suddenly panicking while sitting at the absolute peak of their fake success? Because the spiritual deed to their entire kingdom has legally changed names in the heavenly courts. They physically hold the keys to the grand mansion, but they no longer own the powerful life force energy that keeps the entire structure from violently collapsing. The guardian angels are currently executing a massive cosmic repossession against them. They are rapidly stripping away the unearned wealth and the fake relationships that they proudly flaunt, while simultaneously draining the stolen peace they violently took from your tired mind. This is exactly why their tragic fate is permanently sealed. The universe is simply taking back what was never theirs. Every single ounce of joy and prosperity they squeezed out of you is being meticulously gathered. The divine realm keeps a perfect and flawless record of every stolen blessing, and the universe is actively transferring those massive assets back into your sacred, energetic bank account right now. You are about to receive a massive and overwhelming harvest of the exact beautiful things they violently stole from your life. They are waking up to the horrifying reality that their luck has completely run dry. The golden touch they arrogantly thought they possessed was actually just your radiant aura. Your pure light was simply shining through their dirty and greedy hands all along. Now that your pure light is entirely gone, their hands are completely empty, and they are left staring at a miserable reality with absolutely nothing of real cosmic value. There is a profound difference between you and these miserable parasites. You can always rebuild your glorious life from absolute zero. You can rise from the dark ashes because the divine source flows directly from within your deep soul. But they are totally disconnected from the heavenly source of creation, so when their stolen supply runs out, they simply cannot generate any new physical or spiritual blessings. They will frantically try everything to stop this massive spiritual bleeding today. They will consult earthly experts and desperately chase new innocent victims to completely drain. But absolutely nothing will work for them anymore. The cosmic judgment handed down by the Supreme Creator is final and completely irreversible. Heaven has firmly locked the heavy iron doors of their personal prison, and they must slowly serve out their agonizing sentence in total and complete spiritual isolation. This is the profound and beautiful justice you have been desperately waiting for. You do not need to lift a single physical finger to destroy your cruel enemies. The divine universe is simply rebalancing the massive scales of justice and leaving them in total spiritual bankruptcy. Their brutal punishment is exactly equal to the severe emotional pain they deliberately caused your pure and completely innocent heart during your darkest season. You must remain incredibly still and peacefully watch this divine audit completely unfold. Do not ever try to interfere with the heavy and precise hand of God. Let the cosmic scales perfectly balance themselves out in the unseen spiritual realm. You just need to quietly prepare your open hands to receive your massive returned harvest, because the greatest wealth transfer in your entire family bloodline is already heavily underway. But you must be completely alert and highly vigilant right now. Because when these toxic narcissists finally hit absolute rock bottom, they will become incredibly dangerous. They will desperately try one last manipulative maneuver to violently pull you back down into their miserable hell. You must fully understand their final deceptive trick to survive the upcoming turbulent transition, and you absolutely cannot afford to let your spiritual guard down for a single second. The darkness knows that your profound empathy is your greatest earthly strength, and they will desperately try to weaponize your beautiful compassion against you one final time. They want you to look at their pathetic suffering and feel deep sorrow for their miserable and broken souls. But you cannot afford to interrupt their divine punishment with your misplaced human pity, so you must turn your back and let the heavy cosmic hammer fall without any hesitation. You must prepare yourself for the ultimate spiritual trap. The very people who destroyed your peace are going to suddenly reappear. When their stolen foundation finally crumbles, they will desperately look for a savior, and they will immediately run back to the exact person they previously abused. They will come to you completely broken and crying heavy tears. Do not be deceived by their sudden misery. You will receive a highly emotional text message or a frantic phone call. They will finally give you the exact fake apology you waited years to hear. They will tell you that they were completely wrong, and they will swear they cannot survive without your pure light. This is not genuine remorse for their wicked actions. It is simply the desperate panic of a starving, dark parasite. This is the most critical spiritual test of your entire journey. The dark forces are actively trying to weaponize your beautiful empathy against you one last time. They want you to look at their pathetic state and feel profound human pity. If you open that door, you will instantly invite their heavy karma back into your clean, energetic space, so you must forcefully deny them access to your pure soul. You are no longer the weak empath who begged to be understood. The cruel crucible of pain has completely forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. Your absolute silence is your strongest cosmic shield today. When they desperately reach out, you must leave them entirely on red, because responding will only feed their dying demonic attachments. Do not offer them a single drop of your precious life force. The exact moment you ignore their pathetic cries, something massive will shift. You will literally feel the heavy chains of the past fall completely off your tired shoulders. That is the exact moment the cosmic transfer of power is officially completed. You pass the final test with absolute flying colors, and the universe is immediately dispatching the highest level of divine protection to your life. The universe is proud of your immense strength. You will quickly begin to see the undeniable physical signs of this glorious transfer. You are going to see the numbers 888, repeating everywhere you go. This specific divine sequence is the ultimate cosmic signature of infinite wealth and absolute spiritual authority. It means the heavy karma has been fully balanced, and your massive royal inheritance is cleared for an immediate delivery. Your financial struggles are officially over. You will also constantly notice the sequence 111 on clocks and receipts. This means you are stepping into a completely brand new timeline of total dominance. Your old identity of the wounded survivor is officially gone forever. You are actively stepping into your designated role as a pure weapon of light, and the universe is actively realigning the entire physical world to match your new royal frequency. You are finally taking complete control. There is a profound internal shift that you will feel in your physical body today. The chronic anxiety that used to grip your chest is suddenly vanishing. You will wake up tomorrow morning with a beautiful sense of total inner peace. You will walk into crowded rooms and instantly feel your own intimidating power. Your energy now demands immediate, absolute respect without a single spoken word, because everyone around you can subconsciously feel the divine authority radiating from your soul. Your enemies will clearly feel this massive energetic upgrade from miles away, and they will physically shudder because they realize you are completely untouchable now. They can no longer manipulate what they absolutely cannot access. Your radiant aura has become a blinding force that heavily repels any toxic attachments. You are safely elevated far beyond the reach of their miserable and dying earthly frequency. They are entirely powerless against you. The spiritual realm is fiercely celebrating your magnificent victory right now. You successfully broke the heavy generational curse that kept your family in total darkness. You survived the brutal storm entirely alone and emerged as a brilliant, shining star. The divine creator is placing the heavy crown of true authority on your head, and your enemies are officially defeated while your beautiful new life is rapidly beginning. You have won the cosmic war. Remember that their ultimate fate is permanently sealed by the highest cosmic court. Nothing you do can possibly save them from the heavy consequences of their own dark actions, because heaven has officially locked the heavy doors of their spiritual prison. Your only job right now is to fiercely protect your newly acquired peace. Guard your radiant energy with an absolute iron fist as the final transition takes place. The darkness has completely lost its wicked grip on your beautiful soul. The grand finale of this massive spiritual war is rapidly approaching. Every single tear you cried in the dark is being avenged by heaven right now. You are about to witness the most glorious cosmic turnaround in human history. Prepare your heart for the ultimate revelation of your true divine power, because the universe is about to hand you the absolute master key to your wildest earthly dreams. This is your defining moment. You are ready to rule. The long and painful season of waiting is officially over today. Every single closed door in your life is being violently blown off its hinges right now. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a glorious oasis of divine favor. And while your enemies are choking on the bitter ashes of their ruined empire, you are stepping directly into the brightest season of your entire existence. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit in this exact moment? That is the undeniable frequency of absolute and total cosmic victory. You are no longer the wounded survivor who begged for basic human decency. The brutal crucible of pain has forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. You are a supreme weapon of light, and your spiritual crown has been fully restored. Your pure energy now demands absolute respect, without a single word ever being spoken, because the divine authority radiating from your soul is instantly recognized by the hidden spiritual forces around you. The entire physical world is rapidly bowing to your new frequency. Remember the terrifying secret I mentioned at the very beginning of this message? I promised to tell you exactly why your enemies cannot possibly be saved from their sudden destruction. Here is the absolute truth that heaven has kept hidden until today. The only source of light keeping their dark world alive was you. And the exact moment you finally walked away, their entire fake universe instantly collapsed on top of them because they never had any real foundation of their own. You never had to plot revenge or lift a physical finger against them. The profound secret is that they are entirely self-destructing. They literally cannot breathe without your stolen energy. The universe simply unplugged their life support machine when it removed you from their toxic environment, and now they are desperately gasping for the pure air they violently pushed away. They are suffocating in the dark while you sit peacefully on your rightful throne. This is the magnificent power of your quiet authority in full action. You completely destroyed their wicked empire simply by choosing to aggressively protect your own peace. Their tragic fate was completely sealed the second they decided to betray a chosen child. Heaven is forcing them to watch you rise to impossible heights while they sink into the heavy mud of their own karma. The cosmic scales are perfectly balanced today. You are stepping into the exact royal timeline you were born to rule. The massive wealth transfer that was promised to your bloodline is actively descending upon you right now. Your bank accounts and your broken heart are being simultaneously filled with the infinite abundance of the universe. You suffered in absolute silence for years, so the divine creator is making sure your ultimate public vindication is loud enough for the entire world to clearly witness. There is no dark force that can intercept your glorious delivery today. They thought they buried you, but they did not know you were a divine seed. You multiplied your power in the dark. Now your brilliant roots are breaking their concrete foundation. The people who mocked your pure heart are currently trembling at the massive magnitude of your spiritual upgrade. You are completely immune to their pathetic earthly tricks and their desperate dark magic, because your radiant aura is now fully protected by the highest angelic forces. Every tear you cried in the dark was a powerful investment in your current reality. You purchased this glorious freedom with your remarkable patience. Your unbroken faith is finally paying off. The divine creator is currently throwing a massive celebration in your honor because you successfully passed the hardest test in human history without losing your pure heart. The heavy chains of generational trauma are permanently shattered beneath your victorious feet. You have officially graduated from the brutal school of profound earthly suffering. The universe is handing you the golden diploma of total mastery. Your pure soul is glowing with an incredible intensity. This glorious light violently blindfolds any miserable demon that tries to approach your sacred energy, and you have literally become the blinding sun in a universe full of completely dead planets. You are the absolute master of your own destiny. The pitch-black darkness has completely retreated behind you forever. The dawn of your beautiful new era is shining its brightest rays. It is landing directly onto your restored spiritual crown. Your entire nervous system is vibrating with the pure golden light of divine alignment, while you hold the ultimate master key to a life of effortless attraction. You are flooded with absolute profound peace. The spiritual anointing on this specific moment is incredibly heavy and highly sensitive. You must physically claim this glorious frequency right now. Do not let the enemy try to distract your mind again. Heaven requires a physical act of total agreement to permanently seal this new reality around your life before the dark forces can attempt to steal your focus. Your absolute victory is standing right at the front door. Do not let this incredible wave of divine energy simply pass you by. Secure your rightful place immediately. The universe is actively waiting for your final confirmation. You have done all the heavy lifting and survived the most brutal spiritual storms alone. So now all you have to do is reach out and claim your magnificent reward. Your glorious kingdom is completely ready for you. The time of waiting and weeping in the dark is absolutely over. You have successfully crossed the finish line of your most brutal spiritual test. Heaven is loudly blowing the trumpets of victory in your specific honor today. The heavy generational chains that held your family back are completely shattered, and the wicked enemies who tried to destroy your soul are permanently trapped in their own dark karma. You are walking directly into an unprecedented season of immense divine favor. Your pure hands are finally open to receive the massive wealth transfer that is rightfully yours. The universe is rapidly pouring out an ocean of organic blessings over your entire life. Every single thing you lost during the storm is being returned to you 1,000 times over. You are completely untouchable now. But the dark forces are incredibly jealous of your new shining crown. They are desperately looking for one tiny crack in your spiritual armor to steal your joy. You cannot simply walk away from this powerful revelation without locking the energetic door behind you. The universe requires a deliberate physical action to permanently seal this glorious frequency into your physical, earthly reality. Your nervous system is currently vibrating with the highest level of pure cosmic energy. This beautiful feeling of total liberation is the exact frequency of miracles manifesting. You must anchor yourself at this exact vibration before the mundane world tries to pull you back down. It is time to draw an absolute line in the spiritual sand right now. Let the narcissists rot in the miserable hell they built with their own bare hands. You will never again look over your shoulder with fear or heavy anxiety. The divine creator has built an invisible wall of white fire entirely around your precious life, and anyone who dares to cross that sacred boundary will instantly face the terrifying wrath of the heavenly host. You are totally safe. You are the true master of your reality and the ultimate cycle breaker of your bloodline. Your silent endurance was the ultimate weapon that permanently defeated the dark agenda. The universe is incredibly proud of your pure heart and your unbreakable spirit. It is finally time to sit on the royal throne that was exclusively built for your beautiful soul. The waiting room is completely empty. You must take immediate action to establish your divine energy receiving station today. Hit the subscribe button right now to create an absolute shield of protection around your aura. This simple physical movement tells the spiritual realm that you are officially ready to accept your massive cosmic inheritance. It aligns your physical body with the high frequency of the angelic realm. Do not let this incredible wave of divine momentum slip through your fingers. Type the word Amen down in the comments to physically claim this powerful alignment. Your written word carries the heavy weight of cosmic law in the spiritual realm. When you type that word, you are legally commanding the universe to deliver every single blessing promised to you today. There is one final step to multiply your massive harvest by 1,000. Sowing a seed of pure hope today is the ultimate way to secure your personal blessing for tomorrow. You must share this fiery message with another chosen soul who is currently bleeding in the dark of despair. They desperately need this guiding light just as much as you did. When you send this video to someone else, you instantly activate the divine anointing of abundance. You prove to the universe that your heart remains pure and incredibly generous. The darkness wants you to keep this massive revelation totally hidden to yourself. But you are a true weapon of light who actively destroys the dark matrix by spreading the absolute cosmic truth. Feel the warm and protective energy wrapping around your entire physical body right now. That is the undeniable presence of your guardian angels stepping into your immediate space. They are locking your new royal frequency into place, so no toxic entity can ever reach you again. You are stepping out of the brutal survival mode and entering a beautiful era of effortless thriving. Say a quiet goodbye to the exhausted version of yourself who had to fight alone. That tired warrior is being retired with the absolute highest cosmic honors today. The new version of you simply breathes, and the entire universe aggressively moves to grant your deepest desires. You literally do not have to struggle or fight for basic respect ever again. Your mere existence is pure power. The dawn of your new era is beautifully here right now. To lock in this glorious frequency and build an absolute shield around your new blessings, you must take physical action. Hit subscribe and share this powerful message with another chosen soul. Seal your ultimate victory right now and step into the absolute freedom you deserve. You are the chosen one, and your beautiful kingdom awaits.